Okay, I've just found this and it's very, very shocking. So I decided to get the mic out and just record this quickly. Look, I was doing some research to try and find the worst case of PMO addiction on Reddit. And I found this one very quickly as I was just clicking around. Look at this, right? Let's just go through it very quickly. I'm going to show you what's absolutely mind-blowing about this, okay? So, when he says, he's basically saying, to my knowledge, I've got the worst case of PMO addiction. I do it 10 to 15 times a day to the point where it becomes painful. He's skipping meals in order to MO. He can't imagine the grey matter he's destroyed in his brain. But then he got to this part, right? Okay, zoom in. The videos are seldom anything actually pornographic. Usually there are video gameplay footage featuring a digitalized female character. Sometimes it will be actual porn, but real porn is pretty disgusting to me. I was like, what? Look at what's amazing about this. He's saying two things that are completely contradictory. He's saying he has the worst porn addiction ever, but he doesn't watch actual porn because the actual porn is disgusting to him. So how does this fit in with the dopamine theory, right? With the dopamine theory, it doesn't matter what version of the drug it is, you're just looking for your hit, you're looking for your drug, according to the dopamine theory. This is why the dopamine theory is false. So when you smoke cigarettes, if you like cigarettes, right, you're just going to smoke whatever. With PMO, because the genres are so different, people have their varying tastes. But the point is, it's still PMO. It's still smoking the cigarettes, right? With alcohol's a bit different because it's different tastes. If someone wants to drink, some people will drink a drink one time, but another time, if there's a drink that they don't like that they're being offered, instead of the one that they do like, they might say, no, I'm good, I'll pass. My point is, if this guy's brain was frazzled with dopamine, he wouldn't be able to say no to the porn. But he said he never he sometimes does it because he finds it disgusting. So him finding it disgusting is having a very large impact on how he moderates his use. He's the one in control here. If the dopamine theory was right, he would be heavily using actual PMO if he was just looking to get the drug at any cost. Do you get it? Do you get what I'm trying to say? His personal opinions, his personal choice is factoring in here massively. From his perspective, I'm saying the whole thing is personal choice. The whole thing is personal choice. He's built this construct around this video game thing that he's going. And I get guys messaging me on Telegram all the time about the strange fetishes. I had mine myself. But it's about the beliefs that he has about this fetish, this ritual that he's going on, that he feels as though he needs, because he believes that he needs it for whatever reasons that he may deem to be irrational. He believes he needs it. My point is, he doesn't have porn addiction. No one has porn addiction. If he had porn addiction, we would expect, with reliability, that he would move on to this. But you see how his opinion matters? He finds it disgusting, so he doesn't do it. Right? Now, maybe if he didn't get his digitalized version, maybe that was cut off somehow and all he had was real porn, maybe he would stomach the disgust and he would just he would do that instead. Like how a person who drinks alcohol loads, I said earlier with the example where if their drink that they really like is out of stock and they have a drink that isn't what they like, they might say no, but they might also say yes. This is because personal choice is a thing. Addiction doesn't exist. It's your personal choice. And so he's making a personal choice decision here. Do you see what I'm saying? So he's saying, I have the worst porn addiction ever, but he's also saying, oh, I choose not to use actual porn because it's disgusting to me. You can't have the same. These two are not. You can't hold both opinions. You can't hold both, because he's now implying personal choice. Now maybe he feels as though he can't control himself when it comes to this stuff, but you can't say, oh, I'm making a choice here, but I'm not making a choice here, because from the from the neuroscience dopamine perspective, they're the same fucking drug. It's PMO. It's the same thing. How is he able to moderate one, see one of them as a choice, and see the other one as porn addiction? Not just porn addiction, but the worst porn addiction, to the point where he's masturbating 10 to 15 times daily. Do you get it? And you have this in your own life. Maybe you feel as though you struggle with PMO, but you don't struggle with junk food, because you view junk food differently. There are people who are on, have you seen My £1,000 Life or whatever, that show in America where they have the fat people, or like Super Size versus Super Skinny in the UK? That was pretty good back in the day. These fat people they feel as though they cannot control the food. They can. But it's because they bought into the myth that they're out of control, or that and they're using these gimmicks to try and stop themselves from eating. They want to eat loads because they fucking love it. This guy loves to PMO to this video game female character, but he hates PMO. This is his personal taste. It's like a taste in music almost. But your taste in music can change over time. And in fact, if you learn something about your certain genre of music that you really like, that might completely change your mind to the point where you never want to view it ever again. Now, it's rare to see that with music, but with PMO, we see it all the time. With drugs and alcohol, we see it all the time. It's personal choice. If it doesn't feel like personal choice, it's because you believe some kind of myth. If you feel as though you're getting urges from the outside, that's evidence not of the urge, but the fact that you believe in urges. And this is not me gaslighting you here, because you can confirm or deny whether what I'm saying is true by reading the freedom model and not blindly believing it, but by actually taking the information on and thinking, is this true, is it false, and coming to your own conclusion. I'm not gaslighting you into saying that, oh, you just believe urges exist. They don't actually exist. I'm not dogmatically forcing it upon you. You can take on information and not believe it, and instead consider it. So, again, to summarize, he says he has porn addiction. He says he can't control it with this, but he's exerting his own personal choice in this. Do you see the contradiction here? Do you see do you see how the dopamine theory cannot be right here? Do you see how he's exerting his choice in one area, but then he doesn't even consider it in the other? It's contradictory. So, and he massively believes in it. God bless this guy, and this is what motivates me to help people, is because he believes in addiction so heavily. It really makes your life miserable. It made my life miserable. I don't want the same for you. So, like this video, spread the truth. Let's get more guys free. Let's get more guys thinking and looking at the truth. And then when you look at the truth and you start to believe what I'm purporting to be the truth, then you actually quit then. Okay? But otherwise, this is our example. Was like, fuck me, man. Like, this is this is crazy. How someone can have such a glaring contradiction in front of their face and not come to the conclusion. But then again, I was exactly the same for years. So now that I'm out of it, I'm finding myself, fuck, can I really empathize with people in the same way anymore? I'm kind of forgetting what it was like, but at the same time, I do remember what it was like very, very poignantly, because it was absolutely painful and agonizing in every way. It was horrible what I went through, and you're probably going through a horror show as well. So I want to really help you out. Okay, read the freedom model, link in description. It's free. Like for the algo, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll upload more shit, and binge my fucking channel, and you'll start to think differently, and then you can hopefully leave this shit behind you as quickly as